Do you actually have to be on cocaine to be on this podcast?
It's a great day to be a Wildcat!
Durfing.
What is up, everybody? You are listening and watching yet another edition of Cocaine Willie, the official K-State representative on the College Huddle. I am your commissioner, Bob Trollsby, and as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, the good chef Andre Napier and Fireball Matt Marchesini. But tonight, we are going to do our quarter season award show. In the spirit of the Emmys, in the spirit of award season, we're going to be handing out all sorts of awards to the team, to the coaches, to friends, maybe to foes, and to fans who have contributed to this K-State season, being whatever you want to call it at this point. But better yet, we are joined by the GOAT of K-State podcasting. He's been doing it longer than almost everybody, not everybody, but almost everybody in the K-State content creation game. And he is the trailblazer that was the inspiration for us getting this ridiculous podcast up and running. He is an uncle, a dog dad. He works a secret day job. He loves pumpkin beers and is a great friend who always sends the best Christmas cards. We have Scott McFarland, Scott Wildcat of Boscoe's Boys, making his debut appearance on this version of the podcast. He has been on some of the green rooms when we were still doing that. But Scott, welcome to Cocaine Willie.
It's a long time coming. It's about time. I was thinking about all the guests you guys have had on, including someone who tried to, grift off the K-State fan base, pretending he was going to get a tattoo. And then all of a sudden you never hear him talk about the Big 12 or K-State ever again once he gets a different job. I'll leave that alone. I'm also realizing I don't have Fireball Matt's address. I need to get that so I can make sure he gets a Christmas card this year. That's my fault, 100% my fault. But I'm pumped for this. When I finally got the text message from Bob Trollsby, I had a grin ear to ear, second to only when Chauncey wakes me up every morning wanting to go on a walk. So I'm pumped to be here, boys, and wishes under better circumstances. But, hey, that's part of being a Wildcat. That's part of the content creation game. You got to just grind through it, baby.
Without a doubt. And you called us out. You did call us out. When you had Chef on the Blitz Month episode, you said – I'm still waiting to get the invite to Cocaine Willie. And I was driving to drop my kid off at daycare. And I'm like, you know what? We have never had Scott on this show. Officially.
Yeah. And I get it. I understand, especially because I'm so uptight about scheduling. Right. And you guys are way more go with the flow. 9 times out of 10, you guys will be recording. I'll be taking a shower in the evening, getting ready for bed, and I'll be listening live, and I'll be texting Chef. I'll be like, I don't know about this, and I don't know about that, and trying to figure out a way to get Matt and Chef to fight a little bit more. So I understand. I appreciate you guys going a little earlier for me, but I'm pumped to be here. And what you guys have done, which started off, I remember we used to do live shows. Everyone's like, well, why is it ending so early? And some people were like, well, I can't do it at 7:00 Central. Why can't it be later? I'm so glad you guys did this. And you guys added just such a fun, dynamic to the K-State fan cast world, right? That's the fun part about the era that we're in. We have whatever my show has devolved into. You have the absolute nerd lawyers with the Aggieville Alley Cats. And then you have just 3 dudes who love each other, love talking ball. And the dynamic you guys bring to it is just second to none. We don't need to give any credit to any of the professionals who do it for their day jobs. But I think the dynamic really between you guys, the Alley Cats, and whatever my show's turned into, I think it's perfect. And I think it's such a great era to be a K-State Wildcat who wants stuff to listen to, right? Or watch in your guys' case. I'm not handsome enough to put it on YouTube, but you guys, 3 handsome men. That's what it should be.
You absolutely are, though. You are.
If you guys should rebrand from Cocaine Willie to 3 handsome men, then actually maybe someone from the athletic department will come on with you guys. So
that is a fair point.
Too bad 2.5 Men was already taken because Chef.
I would be Charlie Sheen.
Boy. That's short
absolutely boy. Charlie Sheen.
2.5 balds because Chef isn't really actually bald.
I dabble though. I dabble in the baldness.
Not as follically challenged as Matt and I are. Before we get into the episode, we do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Auntie Mae's Parlor, located at 616 North 12th Street in the heart of Aggieville in Manhattan, Kansas.
That beer crack is to Auntie Mae's.
Oh, we've got three cracks. We got a Towny Wheat there, by the way, for Scott. I don't know what Matt has. He's hiding it.
Garage beer.
And
I believe Auntie Mae's had the raspberry wheat on tap. I think it might almost be out, but to anyone in Manhattan, get over to Auntie Mae's and ask for raspberry Towny Wheat.
Without a doubt. They have, as you know, live music, comedy, all sorts of events every single week. You can check out antimaze.com to get a full list of their upcoming events. They've got Trivia Smackdown tomorrow, September 17th, as we're recording this on Tuesday night, the 16th. They've got House Party with Papa Dom on Thursday, September 18th. And then we have Pie and Cocktails with Thera Pie on Tuesday, September 23rd. And then we'll just go ahead and plug next Saturday, September 27th. Rex Hobart and the Misery Boys will be performing at the Parlor. And I think I mentioned this on the Locks Pod, but nobody listens to the Locks Pod. So in case you missed that episode last week, there's some construction going on 12th Street right there in front of Annie Mae's. Don't be alarmed. Don't be worried. They are still open. You can go. You can enjoy the same beverages, the same craft cocktails, everything that you enjoy, including all these events and everything that they have every single week. So they are not closed. It may look like they are from the outside, but that's just some weird street construction going on out there. But it is all torn up. But follow them on social media if you want to follow along with the construction progress as well. But that's going to do it for our ad read. So the premise for this show is more or less we could just do like quarter season grades, right? We could just give every position group an A through F. And I think at this point, pretty much every position group would have a failing grade of some sort, definitely below average, with the exception of maybe Luis Rodriguez, who I have nominated for quite a few awards tonight. Spoiler alert. But we've got five different categories. We've got performance-based awards. We have, moment awards. We've got quirky awards, big picture narrative related awards, and then we've got fan centric, engagement awards. We'll start off with our performance based awards, and we're going to kick it off here with the put the team on my back award. This is the player who has carried the load so far for Kansas State. A couple of guys that maybe come to mind for me in what has been a dismal season to start out are Desmond Purnell and Luis Rodriguez. These are two guys that I currently have nominated for this award. So with that, I'll open it up to the group here. Who are you nominating for the Put the Team on My Back award?
Let's get this out in the open first. We're giving awards to arguably the worst Kansas State team of all time, which I think is really, really funny to break this, premise out during the season. I think it's hilarious. But I'll go first. I think obviously Luis Rodriguez, he's the bright and shining star of this season so far. And we've got awards later that he's perfect for. But I don't know. Maybe Damian. I don't think he's been terrible. He hasn't been getting as bullied as all the other interior defensive linemen. I would go Damian. He's shown a little bit of fight. Nobody from offense, though. Nobody on offense deserves this.
Nobody on offense deserves
we have one win. We have one win,
exactly,
one singular win, and that win in that drive was because of Avery. Like, again, Avery had one of the worst performance he's ever had on Friday versus Arizona, and legitimately the worst non-Cody Cook, Joe Huebner, and COVID quarterback performance maybe in my life. I mean, it was just abysmal. But the one game we won, he did execute a pretty, big drive. And weirdly enough, what happens when the dude decides to scramble? Oh, he can pick up, 25 yards and put us in position for the lone win. So again, it doesn't really. Sure, you can say Damian. I love Dez. He's a Topeka cat. I have no idea how that made it in there. But the one game we won, Avery had a pretty big game. So I hate doing it because it's a horrible QBR. Like it makes me want to throw up.
He's who I had nominated for this before that game, because I put this together last week.
Well, I mean, we only have one win, so like, and he was the star of that game. So I mean, I don't know anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna throw Jace Brown out there. Here's why.
Jace is a possibility.
Here's why. I mean, 25 catches this season in 4 games. I mean, that's pretty solid. Averaging about 11 yards a catch. Game, obviously, the Arizona game, had 6 catches in that game, 68 yards. I mean, offense wasn't great in that game. He had that 75-yard rushing touchdown in that game. You throw away the Army game because the offense wasn't on the field a lot. I think he has shown his best this season so far. I think he's improved in a lot of ways. He's obviously the number one guy. If I'm going to look at an offensive player, as much as, I thought Avery, the first 2 games, had some pretty good flashes. I think Jace has been, unfortunately, from a consistency perspective, again, taking out the Army game because the offense wasn't on the field that much. I think he's been the most consistent player on the offensive side if you really need a play.
Okay, now let me lock in because I had no idea what the award we were giving out. So I take back everything that I just said. I'm an idiot. I'm going to take back, and I'm going to agree with Scott. He made all the right points. He went, if we're doing, around the horn, he gets all the points. This is definitely Avery's award. He's the only one that's actually carried us to a victory. So yes, Avery gets this put the team on his back award because he's the only one that's done.
It makes me think that Scott literally just texted you to change your answer.
I really wish you would have. I wish somebody would have done it in the middle of me saying whatever I was saying.
No, so what I was looking up, I was trying to look up what Jace Brown did in that North Dakota game because I was like, all right, like what did he do? I mean, he had a good game. Look, I could listen to an argument for that, right? But in some big moments in the Army game, in some big moments in the Arizona game, in some big moments in the Iowa State game, he still had drops, right? Again, it's tough to expect perfection from a wide receiver. But in the biggest moments when Jace Brown could step up, in late game to win situations, he's had drops. So that's what makes it tough. And again, the fact that, team on the back for a 1-3 team, worst start since 1989. It is pretty funny. Like the irony is not lost on me for that. So
this is a sicko award show. This is an award show for sickos, because if you're still listening to this podcast at this point, then you are a sicko. So in the best possible way. So the next award goes to the Game Wrecker Award, which, outside of the first half against Iowa State and the third quarter of seemingly every game, K-State's defense has looked not great, to put it lightly. So who do you think is the defender that's caused the most chaos this season?
Positive or negative?
I was going to combine. I was going to combine it into both. I was going to say Quay Moss. I mean, he's caused a turnover in basically every game, but he's also given up, long runs. He's given blown coverages. I think it's definitely game breaking on both sides. I'm going to go Quay Moss. Interception in the last game didn't really matter because we're giving up long runs and long completions down the middle of the field. So give me Quay Moss for this one.
That's perfect because every game he has like a big play. You're thinking, all right, this guy has the juice. 3 plays later, he's taking a horrible angle and giving up a 45-yard run. He's getting burnt, giving up a touchdown, just barbecue chicken out there. Again, I don't think his coverage skills are that great. Like everyone wants to be like, oh yeah, he's Reggie Stubblefield. Well, the sauce boss we use as a linebacker, we're using Quay Moss as a slot corner. He has been the game breaker for both teams. He's given up a bunch of touchdowns and he's had some fun plays. So Chef, the love affair here, I can't come up with a better answer than that.
Oh my God. I just want to say VJ Payne out of sarcasm. Cause him.
He's been horrible. So again, it works the other way. He's broken the game for us.
It does. He has had in a handful of these games, he has couple really plays that remind you of 2023, 2024. But a lot of the plays now are just what are we doing here? You're completely ruining whatever drive this defense was trying to make a stop on by some boneheaded decision. So I
no offense to the fans of the Bosco's boys, by the way, the boneheads.
No, offense. I don't want to.
I don't think any of our listeners could do better than VJ Payne. So it's okay.
I just feel like I have to pick him for this one because when I instantly read this award, I was like, who is causing the most negative chaos on the team? And unfortunately, right now, just based off of my expectations or how he was going to be this year, it has to be him.
Oh, man, that's tough.
I love it. My answer is going to be more in the spirit of the award itself. I think I'm going to go with Toby O, who leads his team in sacks, and he has been legitimately pretty good in most of these games. Obviously, it's not like he was going to get any sacks against Army or anything like that, but I have a deep affection for Toby Osunsami. I absolutely love the guy, and he has been a bit of a bright spot. The edges in general have been bright spots on this team for the most part. But all right, next award, the Wait Who Award, a breakout surprise player that no one saw coming.
Is this even? I mean, you've got Devon Rice here as a nominee. I guess that's like the only one because I mean, I didn't expect him to really see the field with Dylan Edwards and Joe Jackson.
When did he even see the field on Friday against Arizona? Did he even make the trip?
I don't know what was going on with the running back rotation on that game. It was truly, I don't know what the message they're trying to send. It's weird, but I was trying to think of like maybe even an offensive lineman because Tele, how do you say his name? Tialele. I mean, he got in there and he looked somewhat competent. He's a big boy. I was surprised to see him get rotation. So I guess if that kind of answers this award. So I'm going to go with Amos Tialele.
Who? I don't know if this player is going to count.
What do you mean?
Well,
is he on the 85-man roster?
No, he is on the 85-man roster. I mean, for me, this is somebody that I did not see coming. And I'm going to say Jaron Bradley. Because for the first few games, I will say this at the beginning of the year. I was not anticipating he was going to be in the rotation as a guy who is going to be someone that can make a catch. I know he's had some drops. But I wasn't expecting high things from him this year. I was really focusing on Jaron Tibbs. I was focusing on Jace. I was focusing on the tight ends. I wasn't really thinking about Bradley as being like a guy that would have a huge catch against Iowa State and had, I mean, that play, that catch against Army, was a really good catch. It was a great throw, great catch by him. Unfortunately, got injured.
He didn't catch it though. It didn't count.
That's
not a catch.
I understand. I understand the rules. I don't agree with the rule.
Okay.
But I liked what I saw from him, in the first handful of games. And he was somebody that I was not necessarily anticipating was going to have as much play as we saw before he got hurt. So I have to pick somebody for this one. So
I got an answer, but I'm gonna change mine, but I'm gonna let Scott so I don't step on his toes.
Well, I mean, for the first half, of the first half of the first game, I was thinking it was going to be Jordan Allen. He was like a madman versus Iowa State. He grabbed a sack early. I don't know if he's played since, or if he has, he hasn't really done much. So I really don't know. Amos is a good shout, although again, I thought he looked good versus Army. You didn't really see much of him versus Arizona. I mean, I think Gus Hawkins has been all right, but I got
one for you, and it wasn't on the outline, and it's Bryce Nornberg. I thought he was 6'5" coming into the season. He's got a kick return for a touchdown. Shout out to the special teams. He has a fumble, but I didn't think he was going to get any run. He's the kick returner. He's got one. He's got a score. He's got more than Dylan Edwards. He surprised the hell out of me. And I thought he was 6'5" coming in this season. So that really says a lot.
That's my favorite. That is my favorite moment maybe of your guys' podcast of all time. I wasn't listening live. I was listening back the next morning. and I was walking Chauncey throughout my neighborhood at like 4:45 in the morning. I'm just cackling, laughing, and I'm sure I had neighborhood watch called on me because they thought, "Oh man, there's a witch just chilling out in front of someone, just cackling." When you guys are like, "Is this guy 6'5"? And I'm like, "No, he is not 6." I'm just like laughing to myself. No, he's not 6'5". That's like an all-time favorite memory of your guys' show.
I still do not understand why on the 2024 roster he was listed as 6'5", but then they corrected it for the 2025 one on KStateSports.com. It was absolutely unhinged, the fact that they had him listed as 6'5". I am going to legitimately go with Luis Rodriguez here. This is a guy that we picked up in June. We had no idea what he was going to do. We had our podcast after media days talking about, is kicker the biggest question mark on this team because Cub Patton isn't going to be playing? And here we are a few days later, a few weeks later, and that's not the case, but he's been banging them through. And there are situations that have happened so far where it's like, do we go for it on fourth? Probably not, with Luis Rodriguez in the building now and knowing what he can do, and knowing that the fourth down conversion rate is abysmal. So I think I hope we see a lot more Luis Rodriguez this year, but I'm going to go with him just because that was such a big question.
Kicking extra points, am I right?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know about that. The Almost Famous Award. This is a player who's been just one step away from stardom. I'll kick this off. I'm going to go with Jerron Tibbs because he has dropped quite a few passes, but he's had those flashes. And you could argue that one of the best or the funniest plays, which we'll have one later on, but the touchdown pass that he caught that got tipped, that should have been an interception. It was just, kind of an Almost Famous type of situation. I'm going to go with Tibbs for this one.
I'm going to go next because I'm going to be mean to Avery Johnson here, because he could be Almost Famous, right? He has been in position, in every loss and hell the win to have a game-winning moment. And he's come up, 6 inches short versus Iowa State. He came up, a handful of inches short a couple times versus Army, or a little bit better throw here, maybe getting bailed out by his wide receiver there, or taking off and scrambling. Scramble, dude. I see some of these screen grabs for the Arizona game. It's like, this guy should have had 150 yards rushing, and we should have won that game. Again, Avery is so close to having, you look at his stat lines. Again, horrible, absolutely dog shit versus Arizona. But you look at the stat line in the first 3 games, just a couple plays here or there, all of a sudden you're 3-0. We would have been in the top 10, and he would have had stat lines that's having him talked about as amongst the elite. He is so close, not just to having us undefeated, but he is so close to superstardom. And whether it's his own, mistakes, whether it's his own willingness to get out there and scramble and make the big play, and again, sometimes his wide receivers, but he is so close to being a household name for a good reason. Now he's going viral every 15 minutes because some dumbass at Barstool wants to get some takeoff about Avery versus Will. So that's how close he is from being a meme to being a star.
That's a great answer. That should be the consensus answer, but I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go Dylan. Dylan literally was one slipped ankle away from, who knows, maybe the best player on our team. We'll really never know. Who knows what the future even holds for Dylan Edwards at Kansas State? I don't know how long it's going to be before he gets back again. But Dylan Edwards literally was just one play away from being the star running back. And we saw what he did at the Rate Bowl. He was on his path to being the guy, the mainstay at running back, and proving everybody wrong that he could be, a bell cow back and carry a load for a Kansas State Wildcat team that really kind of needs him. So I'm going to go Dylan, and it's a what if moment, really.
No, that was my answer because I was taking it literally one play or one step to the left away of letting that ball go into the end zone for a touchback, and he would have been playing in the Iowa State game, and who knows what he would have done. So I was taking it very literally. He's one step to the left from, just letting the ball go.
Do not let that man near a bench anywhere, by the way.
Oh,
allegedly.
Allegedly. Come on.
Allegedly.
Let's
just
get sued.
I didn't.
That was
I
Bob
didn't make-
Trollsby who said that, not Scott McFarland. That was
I
Bob
was not drawing
Trollsby.
any conclusions. I'm just saying he probably shouldn't be anywhere near a bench anytime soon.
I'll
The
get Coleman
glue-
Hawkins on your case here real quick if you need.
yeah. At this point, yeah, we can get to that later. The Glue Guy Award, not flashy, but absolutely essential. This is tough. This is tough.
not flashy, but absolutely essential.
Who's the
Blake
glue guy?
Barnett. He's getting it done in the weight room.
Yeah.
That's it.
Big old calves on that boy.
Oh,
Huge
God.
calves.
I mean, because it's not being held together. That's the problem with this.
That
one.
is the problem.
I'll
I mean,
probably-
who's keeping it together? The Twitter community. We're all just kind of laughing through it. It's like toxic during the game, and then we all just are getting our jokes off at our own expense. Like that's what makes the K-State Twitter community different from KU, different from Iowa State, different from Texas Tech, different from all these like fan bases super online, right? When it's going bad for all of them, like it's gross that they're just fighting everyone. No, we're making fun of ourselves. We're all we melt down during the game, and then we get our jokes off at our own expense. So who's keeping it together? The K-State Twitter fans.
I love it.
Just barely.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, we have to take out like the 3.5 hours and then like any press conference. Like that's all very bad. But Monday, well, not Monday because that's usually when press conferences. Tuesday through Friday. I mean, it's pretty like we're all just kind of joking, like, yeah, we suck. We're never going to win. Let's make fun of ourselves. Monday during press conferences, during the game, it's bad. It's really bad. I was melting down pretty good. But, Tuesday
I
through
even gave
Friday,
Scott a
pretty
call
good.
during the game. I gave Scott a call.
did,
I
yeah.
had no choice but to call him because it was just he's the first person I thought of when, Matt Wells is just shitting his pants in this game. He's shitting his pants literally. It's so bad. I love that answer. I would go if I was going to go with a player, maybe Sam Hecht. I mean, the offensive line has been bad, but I mean, he's been like a consistent, kind of guy in the middle. I don't know if anybody's like an all-conference guy because I had high hopes for Sam Hecht, but he's really kind of the only bright spot on the interior of the offensive line, or actually the offensive line in general. But golly,
Pastore's
man,
been okay.
Pastore's been actually pretty fine. Line gang bad. All the guards bad. Sam Hecht, he's been all right. He's gotten bullied maybe one time that I can remember. So, give me Sam Hecht, even though Scott has got the best answer so far.
It's funny how like all of these answers are. You could probably put a comparison of like, would you rather drown or die in a fire? Like,
I would
I
would go fire.
Fire, right?
We could go
It's
here
hot, yeah.
or here.
Yeah, I think you choose fire in that situation.
Your
I mean-
nerves would shut off eventually. I've seen plenty of people set on fire, and I think they're all fine. Well, not fine, but they're dead. But I mean, that drowning's way worse.
I can't imagine Chef's Reddit feed. It is just
tough.
absolutely,
Tough.
absolutely horrific.
Let's stay away from death for right now.
Yeah, that'd be
stop doing
good.
that.
I'm gonna go Austin Romaine. I can't imagine this defense without a guy who has 37 tackles. I know it's bad, but you know what? You gotta take what you get. I think he's a talented player. I don't necessarily I don't know.
Maybe my takes in the summer weren't as off base as people think.
I made fun of Chef in so many Blitz Month episodes, and guess who turned out to be right? Chef.
Yeah,
Because Austin Romaine has not been anywhere near what we thought he was going to be. I think we're going to have biggest disappointment later. It's Austin Romaine with a bullet, end of discussion, like just skip the question. That is how bad he has been.
Oh God. I mean,
Big brain on Dre. I'm just saying. Big brain on the board.
Oh my, yeah, Chef Stradamus. It's not the first time we've had a Chef Stradamus take, that's for sure. I didn't know what to think of this award other than, okay, who is the most vocal leader in the locker room right now? Maybe. And it sounds like Damian Ilalio has had a lot of, I don't know, being vocal and being that leader. Not that is really saying much for how the team's playing on the field, but you got to have someone in there who's kind of an ass kicker or an asshole, for lack of a better way to put it. And if it's him,
he's
hell
with
yeah.
the Cowboys coaching right now.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, I don't love that. And Cowboys offensive lines look pretty salty right now. I'm not.
And he was the asshole ass kicker for the staff. Now you don't have any. You have freaking Lepak singing opera to them. Matt Wells, just looking at his freaking play card and saying, let's run another, fucking bubble screen. Sorry. No F word 2025. Here I am on the live show. Can't even edit that out. Just, yeah.
Oh my God.
Connor Riley's just being one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL. Oh, we're going to be better without him. We're going to be better without DJ Giddens. Okay.
Hey, I said a while ago, I mean, when we were talking about like Avery Johnson's future and like there was a rhetoric going along that, we are building to 2025. I said, hey, be careful what you wish for, because this could literally be the best team that Avery Johnson ever plays on. Like, and that was in 2024, and it was a disappointing season comparative to what we wanted. And it's kind of all playing out that we are less talented. I think we all kind of like hyped ourselves up to think that we were more talented. We lost staff. We had for some reason, the most consistent coaching staff in the whole Big 12 decided this year is the year that we want to switch up everything in the offseason and play internationally and run a new defense. I mean, it kind of all worked out. I told Bob I was enlightened after that loss. It all hit me like a ton of bricks. We were destined to be a 4-8 team. We were destined to be this the whole time. And we all just looked past it. We are less talented. We are worse coached. And we've had all the circumstances to feed into a bad season. And it's here. And we have to swallow it and let's go. I'm pumped. Let's go.
That was tremendous. I'm just going to leave it at that. Love the energy, Chef. It's fantastic. All right. My next award is the Prize Fighter Award. Who has shown the most toughness and grit in 2025?
I have.
I got one.
We have.
The podcasters, the fan podcasters who strap on the microphone week in and week out and just podcast through it. Matt, Bob, Chef, myself,
Everybody.
The lawyer boys.
Giving ourselves a pat on the back here.
Because I want to hear who Chef says like on the team. I'm 100%.
I think Logan Barkley is literally the only one that showed enough heart to absolutely strap it up and say, hey, if I'm going to lose, I might as well leave in the first half. I'm going to kill someone. He got a kill shot on Trace Spivey. I almost called that too. If it was Gunnar Maldonado, it would have been perfect. But
Gunnar couldn't catch up to a snail.
Oh my God. He's literally running on 1.5 legs. It's insane. But Logan Bartley, I mean, he brought the wood. He said, I'm gonna hit somebody, because that's the hardest hit we've seen all season. And it took 4 games to get in there to do it. So I mean, I'm gonna go Logan. He's still a true freshman. He's got some learning to do, because I don't know how quick he is, but he brings the wood. So he's got enough toughness. Let's go. Come on. Come across the middle if you want.
But not for the first half of this game, right? Or
No,
he was out in the first half. He was.
Yeah.
Does a bye count? Like if he's going into a bye, does that count, or is it literally the next game?
Chef's Adamas, like
you dumbass.
Man, that's almost as bad as you guys not knowing the college football playoff format.
Oh boy.
I knew it, to be fair, and then they bullied me.
I will say, he is a player that I hope stays in the program.
Who's that?
Logan Bartley.
Okay, yeah.
Like I hope he stays in the program and he continues to develop, because I do see some characteristics of his playing style. Like he's still almost like a puppy out there, right? Hard to rein in, you're trying to, teach him all these things. I think he's still figuring it out, but I like some of that physical nature he's bringing out there. That sophomore season, junior season, like I feel like he has the capability to get better, and you take some of that emotion and really become a wrecker out there. But I don't know. You're right. I mean, that play, we hadn't seen a play like that all season of just a hard physical play like that. I feel like that obviously was, targeting, but
Hey, 2 plays before that, Ryan Davis decided he was going to shove Fafita 3 feet out of bounds.
There was
There
was a lot of fight into that buildup of like maybe a comeback is in the works, but it just stifled. I mean, I don't know what gets in our way, but it's a lot of things. But
something about these third quarters. I remember a couple of years ago we were talking about how awful the third quarters were, and now the third quarter is the only thing we've got going for us. Hang the banner after every third quarter. My prize fighter award. Should I say this? I don't know. I'm going to say it. Mark and Anthony Johnson. I'm going to leave it at that.
Oh my God.
Ooh, I like it. Let's go. Getting in the little scrap in Ireland. Let's throw some hands in there, baby. Let's go.
That took you a minute, Scott.
Yeah, well, because I've tried to stay away from that on my because I've tried to stay away from that, and I was like, all right, hold on. Oh, that's their first names. I was on a flight with them on the way back from Provo. I never got their names, so.
I chatted with Anthony at halftime. He's a very nice, very, very, very nice individual. I could not have had a better conversation with him. And then that happened about 10 feet in front of me walking away from the game. So that was super cool. All right. Plays and Moments Awards. The Did That Just Happen Award for the weirdest or funniest play so far this season.
I mean,
there are a handful
You nominated Tibbs, and I think that is absolutely hilarious. I mean, it's a very Will Howard throw across the middle, 15 feet shorter than it needs to be, and it bounces off of a clear interception. He's Avery Johnson was due like 15 interceptions, like in the first 2 games, and it didn't bounce. It didn't bounce his way. It didn't bounce their way, and it bounced right into Tibbs' hands in the most awkward catch for a touchdown you'll ever see. So I think that was the one that you look like, what just happened? And I got to give it to Tibbs.
It's the Army kicker pegging,
yes.
freaking Mikey Bergeron.
Yes.
Again, I like Mikey. Mikey, like he's a program guy. He's like one of those guys that are supposed to be the glue guys of the program. I feel bad for him. But not only that, but then like all the weird explanations and, climbing, fighting with Tim Fitzgerald in the post game over the play, and like everyone diagnosing, like spending like 17 minutes. Every single person like had their own like screen grab, frame by frame breakdown of it. I mean, when that happened, I knew we were cooked.
Yeah.
I was like, we're dead.
And for them to say it was like they weren't planning on doing that is absolutely the cherry on top. Like
it's heinous.
It's crazy.
This play I'm gonna nominate because it reminded me so much of the 2019 Oklahoma play that the wide receiver shouldn't have thrown the ball shouldn't have thrown the ball
to get an interception.
And the Arizona game when the wide receiver should have just run the ball, but he throws it right into Quaymos's hands. When that happened, I was like, oh man, like we're gonna go on this big run, we're gonna have a big drive, like big momentum shifter, especially in the third quarter. Next drive, 3 plays, -2 yards and a punt, like classic for 2025. But I was watching that play and I had an immediate flashback to the OU game when the OU wide receiver should have just run the ball 10 yards to get the first down, but he threw it in the air and we intercepted it. So
right, who got that interception? Trivia question.
AJ Parker.
AJ Parker did. Yeah. AJ Parker did.
I was going to make you guys write it down and show me, but
who threw the pass? It wasn't CeeDee Lamb, was it?
No, it was
no, he would have ran for a touchdown on that day.
Shepard?
No, it wasn't.
It was just a dude. It was just some random guy.
Yeah.
He works at a ConocoPhillips in Tulsa now. It's gonna be funny that he's probably like on an NFL roster, but
no, he's definitely not an NFL roster. I just pulled this
Look
up.
It up.
Literally, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I want to know. And then find his LinkedIn.
It's
endorse his decision making skills.
Key plays, right? It's got to be a key play. They actually had 2 big 2 plays there. Like that were weird. Interception. This was right before the end of the half. It was
what a psycho. AJ Parker's so underrated. Oh,
He
man,
I
was
love
fantastic.
AJ Parker.
I love him.
Nick Baskin.
Who?
Find him on LinkedIn. Try to get him on the show. Try to
Nick
get him on
Baskin
Cocaine
pass
Willie.
intercepted to the Oklahoma 14. This was like late in the second quarter, and that was a big because we scored a touchdown.
Lincoln was a sick pup running double reverses, just like in
Yeah.
the
Skylar
Yeah.
Thompson game. Did Will Howard ever have a game where he took over versus a team with a pulse like Skylar did versus Oklahoma in that one?
Texas Tech in 2020, right? Well, is that fair?
What?
Ew.
No. Well, he took over on that last drive and they scored the
He took
touchdown.
over.
You mean
I mean,
the
kind
throw
of-
he put 10 feet behind Deuce
hey,
Vaughn, and Deuce
you know
Vaughn
what?
made an amazing catch?
Hey,
He
you
kinda
asked.
took over versus TCU in the-
that one.
You asked.
TCU in the Big 12 championship, Will kind of took over. I liked Will in that game.
Go back here.
Southern Illinois 2021 when
Go
Clement's
back,
on his knees in the club crying for Skylar.
Go back and watch that Big 12 championship game and hyper focus on Will Howard's game, and then get back to me on that.
So
That's
Will,
all I'm
I
gonna
mean,
say.
I kind of like. I'm trying to think of all like the good key passes. Hit Marquise Noel. I mean, yeah. No, Marquise Noel. What am I saying? Malik Knowles. Malik Knowles down the right sideline. That was a beautiful pass.
His
Cade
touchdown,
Warner.
his touchdown pass to Sennett and RJ Garcia, those were good, but that never should have
All
been
start
in
on that
overtime.
play, by the way.
That game never should. Never mind. Everyone already knows how much I hate Will Howard, but I just get mad because the Zoomers are still like he needs to go in the Ring of Honor. Like, shut up, you're 20.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That was also one of my worst takes. I mean, but like I said, they agree with me.
They do. They're just dumb.
People
They're just dumb
think that
kids.
he's like a top 3 quarterback of all time at K-State.
Yeah,
and
if you talk to these 23-year-olds, they think Will Howard is the best quarterback we've ever had. It's disgusting.
Oh my god.
I can't with that.
I hope you don't have a bunch of recent grads who are in your demographics.
We have some. You'd be surprised. They're a decent amount.
I have a very large contingent of band people who listen to my show, so I've tried to reel it back a little.
Shout out Ross. Shout out Ross.
Ross is the best.
Yeah,
Blake is the best. I honestly love the band outside of and they get a little power hungry, and then Wildcat March.
Yeah.
7 out of 10. I like them. 3 out of 10. Settle down.
We need 5 minutes at the end of this show to crowdsource how the production of our football games needs to be, because I think everybody needs to come together.
Man, I tell you what, no, you can't. No, we need to stop right now and just talk about the production. Because talk about the decline of the football team. Look, it's a tough job. I know a little bit of what goes into it. The production has been very bad.
You go to other games,
flyover?
you go to other games and stuff like that, and you experience it. It really, we don't scratch the surface of what's. It's sad, but
I am way the other way. I actually think, except for this year has been bad. They've been struggling this year. I've been to, before the new schools came in, I went to all these other schools, and I actually think it is way better than almost every school except for BYU.
Interesting.
BYU's on another level.
Oklahoma was good. It is way better than Iowa State. TCU is the worst I've ever been to. KU is horrible. Oklahoma State is fine. It is not good, but it's okay. Texas Tech was horrible. Granted, that was 6-7 years ago at this point. Maybe it's gotten better. Baylor, horrible. So I disagree with you big time. This year's been bad. The flyover, horrible. They've been really bad with their cadence on videos when they're playing some songs. It's been bad this year, but last year was way better than a lot of schools. So
just got to bring back the Willie skit. You've got to have the Willie skit. You've got to have some sort of. You don't have to tackle a guy who has. You don't have to tackle a guy who has epilepsy and give him a seizure on the field, like what happened when we were students.
Here's the question: is that still a thing? Because the urban legend is that guy A, lied on his waiver saying that he didn't have a history of this, and B, the legend is he told that Willie, "Let's hype up the crowd, hit me as hard as you can." That's the legend. If that never happens, are we still doing that in 2025? Do you think?
So that was what,
Probably.
11.
Think
That
of
was
all the
20
fun
it
things
was-
that
no, it
we
was
could
the
dress up as.
13, wasn't it?
It was the 2013 season against
Because
West
we lost.
Virginia.
Yeah, we lost that game.
Yeah.
Or was it
Against
Oklahoma
West
State?
Virginia. It was the return trip from West Virginia because we went
Okay,
to
yeah.
Morgantown.
We won in 2012.
2012.
Yeah. Because I'm
Was
pretty
there.
sure we lost the game where it happened. Everyone's like, well, we lost because Willie killed a guy.
Yeah.
Which we can joke because he didn't die.
He didn't die.
Correct,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, but it was hit or miss for about.
But yeah, so I disagree with you,
60
Matt.
seconds.
But
Okay.
let's next bye week have a special episode where we just talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I could go an hour on game presentation.
I'm here for that.
I love
All
it.
right. I do want to move on to a couple more of these awards. We don't have to do all of them, but I do want to talk Highlight Factory Award. What has been the most replayable SportsCenter top 10 style moment so far for a positive or negative? I'm going to go positive. And that touchdown from Avery to Jace in Ireland when K-State was within striking distance still, and we still felt good about potentially getting the win in that game. I believe it was third quarter, maybe fourth quarter at that point when he had that strike to Jace. Just, I remember replaying that over and over again after the game thinking like, God, I hate that we lost this game, but that was a slick play call. Jace got free. There was no one around him. Avery threw a dime. And I thought we are so back. And then it's so over just shortly thereafter.
Just the Jace, in and up. I mean, just like the slant and go kind of comes to mind. The
Jace's touchdown versus Arizona, out of the Wildcat.
Yeah.
That's the one for me.
Yeah.
that looked.
We've
really
run
nice.
that. We've run that play twice this year, and
Both
Iowa
plays.
State
Iowa State the first time.
both plays looked really good. You would think, maybe we.
I mean, you
continue.
can't run it more than
You can't. I agree.
You can't
You could-
double tap it, but I mean, at least once a game.
But
Doesn't always have to be Jace too. Could
well,
be,
and then that should be setting stuff up,
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe, throw the, pitch back to Avery and then he throws a bomb to someone who will just drop it on the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
Our offense is so weird. I mean, I don't know. I think there's another award later, and
We got to get Sterling involved, right?
Shout out to
Tyler.
Sterling.
Yeah, you got to get
Eric
Sterling
Muff
involved.
guy, huge Muff guy.
God damn it.
Unlike his brother, or like his brother, depending on depending.
Heard some stories. Not gonna say.
Hearts fangs.
God damn it.
I think it's got to be Jace on that in the Arizona game. I think that was beautiful. Juke, cut up, and then just the high knees runs from him. They just look awesome. He
Mhm.
doesn't look like he should be fast, but he's just burning people. So give me Jace on the Wildcat.
That's good. That's good. There's nothing really else I would be putting on SportsCenter. So, for everybody's sake, we all know what SportsCenter is like today. Like nothing like the good old days.
No, definitely.
Not
Stuart
done.
Scott. Stuart Scott, rest in peace.
All right.
Scott, you have any further commentary on this one?
No, I mean, I think it's the Arizona touchdown. I'll be honest. I kind of was just like looking at my phone, so I actually did admit, it's like, oh, here he goes. So I had to rewind it, and I was like, oh man, like we should get Jace Brown going in the rushing game a little bit more. That's my favorite thing. One of my favorite stats to point back to are how many rushing yards and rushing touchdowns Malik had in the 2022 season. That was enough to get him All-American honors with CBS as an all-purpose player. I think you need to continue to find creative ways to get Jace the ball, and if he doesn't have to catch it, the higher percentage chance he has at completing the play. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, those plays we've seen success with in the past, and like just leveraging a little bit more with motion and getting guys moving around pre-snap. I mean, I've been the biggest proponent of going a little bit off script with Avery and kind of, getting guys moving around a little bit instead of some set stuff. But I think the motion piece is like, we have some athletes that I think you could really take advantage of some of that and try and get defenses moving laterally instead of just running in between the tackles all the time and seeing how that goes. But,
Here's something, if Matt Wells is listening, I hope he's not, but, we'd be grinding tape. The first play of the game versus UCF, have Jace lined up as the quarterback, Avery as the wide receiver. So then we can have some deep cut, how many games starting at quarterback besides Avery Johnson happened in 2025? And people are going to be like, oh, well, he opted out of the bowl game because he transferred to Mississippi. So just one. No, psych. You got it wrong. Jace lined up as the Wildcat quarterback and Avery was a wide receiver versus UCF. That's the type of stuff I want, because remember, Avery's first start in his career came as a wide receiver. So
I love it.
Yes.
I want some weird stuff. If we're not going to be good, let's do some weird stuff.
Yeah. That's some sick.
Which is also, the title of my sexual escapades. If you're not going to be weird, let's do some. If you're not going to be good, let's do some weird stuff.
Baby. Hell yeah.
On that note, the turn off the TV award. When was the moment you knew the game was over? So, ironically enough,
the sequel of my sex life. Turn the TV on. It's not good. It's over.
Brother. I'm watching, brother. I don't care. I'm watching.
Ironically enough, for me, this moment was in the one game that we won against North Dakota. And was at that 4:19 mark, right after that Sawyer Seidel kid got the touchdown and scored. I literally turned the TV off and didn't watch again until I think we got down to the 30-yard line of North Dakota or something like that at the very end of the game. So that was my turn off the TV moment.
So they won the game when you turned it off. Maybe you need to stop watching the games.
Watching, Bob.
And we'll get an 8-game win streak and talk about the biggest comeback in K-State football history exists.
They're not giving me anything to watch currently. So
yeah.
That may come to fruition.
When did I turn the Army?
My TV off moment in the Arizona game, to be honest, is Oakley on a leak out to the left for -3 yards. Just a dump pass. I mean, it happened 6 or 7 times this season. I don't know if it's like a blanket for Matt Wells or what, but he needs to hold on to something better than this leak out boot to Garrett Oakley in the flats, because the shit ain't working. The shit don't work. It might work at the beginning of the game. I don't know and then the defensive coordinators on the other side, he's still running this? What are we doing? Let's just blitz a nickel let's just blitz the nickel back because the freaking left tackle ain't watching, and he's just getting Avery smashed. Garrett Oakley's knees are Charles Barkley's in 2015. They're that bad now because he's getting absolutely nuked every time. It's bad. I don't like that play. And if I see it again, I'm going to turn it off again. Why not? I'm done.
So I walked out of the stadium when we didn't pick up the 4th down versus North Dakota. We did end up coming back. And then in my head, I'm like, all right, when Army picked up that 4th down, inside of the 30, on that final touchdown drive, I'm like, all right, I'm walking back to my car, hoping that would, turn it around. It did not, because again, wide receivers dropping some pretty good balls from Avery. So those were my 2.
Man, I've watched every game to the end, unfortunately. I always have a belief we can win.
No nobility in staying to the end.
I know.
There's none. I've never felt bad about leaving a game early. I can rewatch, the Iowa State, touchdown, Skylar Thompson finding Zuber. I can watch that on YouTube whenever.
Yeah, that's true. That was fun to be in the stadium, though. I will say, I gave a lot of hugs.
Yeah, no, in those moments it's great. But again, my motto is I don't want to be especially if we're about to get upset. I don't want to be in the stadium when it happens.
No, that's fair.
I'm selling my K-State ticket. My little brother, who's a season ticket holder, I gave him $200 as buy me a ticket in the presale. I will be trying to sell it on SeatGeek or try to find one of his knucklehead friends to buy it from me at cost. I will not be at that game. I will not be in that stadium when we lose.
I bought 6 tickets, so this is going to be a very interesting decision I have to make for that one.
Wow.
Yeah, I've watched basically every game, unfortunately, to the end, but I have no faith, and nothing can hurt me anymore. I think I've decided nothing can hurt me. This team can't hurt me. The Chiefs The Red Sox are going to blow. The Red Sox are going to blow this wild card thing.
Royals
like
stink.
Jaylen Brown will get hurt the first game of the Celtics. Like nothing can hurt me. I'm fine.
Yeah, that's why I tell myself before every first date, and like a week later when she ghosts me, I'm like on my floor. So, you can say that, Matt, but I know the truth there. I know you will be hurt another.
I've seen like
7 times.
Somebody Sunday, said to me, "Why are you still wearing K-State stuff?" I'm like, "This is like the 100th worst loss I've ever seen K-State have."
Yeah.
Like I was at Madison Square Garden for the Florida Atlantic game. I was in Waco for the 2012 game. Like I have seen so many bad losses and in person that a loss against Arizona is not going to kill me. Now, North Dakota, like that would have been like a real big like stretch a little bit, but
Army was bad for me, brother. I'm gonna be honest. Army was
I compared the Army game
one
to
of the worst
the
I've ever
Tulane
seen.
game 2 years ago. I was out like in Europe, in Norway. It's 3 a.m. I'm watching ESPN 3. Us losing to Tulane. I'm like,
yeah, that's bad. But
bad.
Army was on a whole nother level.
Technically, we're no worse off today than we were after Ireland. If we want to talk
correct.
12,
We are
Look,
not worse off.
If you want to spin it, if you want to spin it, we're still in title hunt.
Mhm.
We are still in title contention.
I
Arlington or bust.
talked to someone close to the football program earlier this week, and they said we're talking to some of the seniors. They're like, "Look, everything's still on the table. You could go down as the most talked about K-State team of all time if you get to Arlington and win this championship." Like, what if?
That
What
is
if?
certainly
Time out. Let's us 4 get a matching tattoo if K-State wins the Big 12 title in football.
I will get all the tattoos, brother.
I would.
Matching tattoos.
I will.
Well, I'm going to be able to afford it because if my Big 12 preseason championship, the odds change, I'm just doubling down on like the Big 12 title hopes. I'm just doubling down. I'm going to be a millionaire.
I will fly everyone into Manhattan, Kansas. We'll go to one of the tattoo shops in Manhattan before a K-State men's basketball game, and all 4 of us will get matching tattoos. And I won't back out of it like someone.
Ooh.
Yeah, like a certain guy that used to be on the 10-12 network. No longer.
Yeah, for like 3 weeks.
Recurring guest on the pod here. Former K-State fan, former BYU fan. If you know, you know. Durfing enthusiast. Okay, last couple of awards here. I'm going to skip ahead to the Where's Waldo Award. Who is the unit or player who disappeared when you needed them the most?
Austin Romaine.
Linebackers. Damn it, you beat me to it. It's Austin Romaine. It's so pathetic. I mean, but like I said, I kind of seen it coming, but also he could have fulfilled on that prophecy and made me eat crow so easily, but gaps are not getting.
You didn't think
filled.
he was going to be this bad, though. You thought he was going to be like honorable mention All Big 12, not All American.
I thought
bad.
Honestly, what I thought, my thinking, and I've explained this, thoroughly. For Austin Romaine to be everything that we needed him to be, we needed people up front to be like really, really good, to like carry their own weight and be their own boss, and they're not. They need help. And they're not getting it. They're not standing up for themselves. And that's hurting Austin Romaine. As much talent as he has, he is a middle linebacker. There is only so much that he can do because he can't get sideline to sideline as much as we love him. He's not Arthur Brown. He's not that quick. If he needs to fill a hole and hit it. And when he does that, it looks amazing. He looks good on some of these plays. He is filling gaps and smashing people. But there's other times where, I mean, he's trying to do other people's jobs. He's trying to get over like 2 gaps over because he thinks that's where the play is going. And it's just a 60-yard run the opposite way. And he's not doing it. And he's the true Where Waldo. He's like, how many tackles did you say he had, Matt?
37. He
should have more than that. If we're being honest, he should have more than that because the gaps, the people up front should be leading it everything to Austin Romaine. And it's not happening because he's doing too much. He's missing gaps. And the people in front of him stink. If we're being honest, they stink.
If he has 37 tackles, to be fair, he's on pace for 148 tackles this season through 4 games.
You got to be honest. Half of them were in Army. So,
Well,
and that
not only
yes,
that,
yes.
but then he's also falling on his ass, with a freaking quarterback who's 167, driving him forward and when it could have been 2 yards, it's 4. And that's the reason why we effing lost. And it's not just him. It was every GD player in that game.
Yeah.
Because, no.
Noah Fafita turned into prime Michael Vick for some reason when he's had like negative 30 yards in his
career negative yards. Oh, here's 60 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns. He didn't even have 2 rushing touchdowns his entire career before that game. Don't fact check it. I don't know. But,
And to think that a lot of this defense was on this team last year and held Shador to like negative whatever yards.
Shador was I guess. Yeah.
I mean, he's a statue too, but he has, similar idea, right? He's kind of a statue back there. He's not.
And it's crazy because the philosophy that we had last year with Noah Fafita was that we keep him contained and let him drop back as far as he wants, and then you go and get him. This year, I don't know what happened to their offense, but it was basically just run. They were a run-heavy team. They saw that Army tape was like they don't want to do anything up front. We're going to get moved. They're pulling 2 guards. I mean, a guard and a tackle, and no one's penetrating. Cody Stufflebeam, so bad in that game. I mean, absolutely lazy. I mean, I know he's playing probably 60 snaps when he should be playing like 30, but my God, there's snaps where the D linemen are just allowing whatever to happen, and Austin Romaine has no chance at that point. Desmond Purnell has no chance. They're going to look like trash cans when the D line up front has no heart, and there was none. There was no heart.
No heart.
I'm trying to fire myself up, but there's no hope. There's no hope really.
My answer is the safeties. So I'm going VJ, Gunnar Maldonado.
Gunnar.
I mean, Wesley Fair's been out there, but
He's been bad too.
he's
Bartley's
been,
getting ejected.
he's been there. Bartley's getting ejected.
Where's Waldo? He's in the locker room.
Yeah. So
That's honestly probably even better than calling out the linebackers. The safeties have just been. I'm done trying to convince myself every year like these are going to be like the best safety group in America.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had that storyline too. Like, oh, we get these guys in the transfer portal. They're so good. I mean, we send them to the NFL. Yeah, they're playing in NFL. What did they do for us? I mean,
Siegel was good for us.
Siegel was good for us.
Siegel was good. Hayes was good. I think we're good players, but we can't just like bank on it. Like this is the real eye-opening thing for us. Like I was in the camp of like Kleiman. His floor is you know what you're getting from him. But like if you get stagnant and if you do things really wonky in the offseason, anybody can get it at any time. Like in this transfer portal era, anybody can lose at any given moment. And if you're doing wonky shit and not being consistent in the offseason and not getting ready and your message is stale, these players don't want to play. They don't want to get beat up for 80 snaps on defense. And they're going to quit, and they're roll over real quick. So I'm no longer going to give, just like basketball, I'm no longer going to give anybody any benefit in the offseason or in the season. You get no expectations from me anymore. You've got to prove it every game. And I'm going to go in to every game with K-State that we could lose at any given moment.
That's always been my thing. Now people are learning.
I'm picking up.
Be pessimistic all the time.
There you go. Set the bar low. I kind of had a couple of names written out, and then I was thinking about it earlier when we were all talking. And for me, it's Joe Jackson. I mean, this is a guy that was also super, super hyped in the offseason. Coming out of last season, everybody was saying, okay, you're Dylan Edwards. He's not going to be a between the tackles guy. You need a guy who can be more of an every down running back for you. And he's just been completely missing. And you can credit the lack of good offensive line play in large part for this, but he's had drops that have been bad. I mean, Joe Jackson's been really just completely unheard of from a positive perspective this season.
Did have the game-winning touchdown.
He did.
In the one game we won, to be fair.
He could have, you know what? He could have dropped it.
He
could have.
He could have dropped it. Tibbs drops that. Sterling Lockett drops that.
Muffs that.
Well said. Well said.
Sterling Lockett, the Muffin Man.
Oh.
We've got a couple of more awards. What was the strangest, this Sicko special? What's the strangest play caller decision that's been made this season?
Every third down call.
Third down.
Every fourth down call.
There we go.
I think, yeah, it's got to be the third down or just like the decision, because it's been documented, like their philosophy with Avery and his not mechanics, but his philosophy on how to play the game. They've neutered him, and it's so weird. It's such a weird decision. Like, everybody knows that college football is you're on a cycle. Like, you're bringing in a quarterback to replace another quarterback, and you've got to get every drop out of a player. And to just like take Avery Johnson's career and his path to, like Scott said earlier, his path to stardom, and just take it away is truly criminal, because like you're trying to save him to be longevity in the season, but you're not going to have a season if he's no good. And you've basically limited him to something that is his second skill set. So it's weird. So that's the strangest decision for me.
All of them. I mean, everything. Like, I just think for all the plays that go right, 75% of them are just dumbfounding. I just wonder, like, is it the route running? Is it like the aptitude of the receivers and tight ends to not know where the first down marker is? Is it, it's stuff like that.
It's like 2 yards on like 4th and 6. Like,
yes,
it's the play calling. Like, there might be some of that with the wide receivers and tight ends, but there is too much of that shit for it not to be the play calling.
You just, like, if you know you got to get 6 yards, you need to be running your people 6 yards, like 7.
Do you see the screen grab on some of these? It's like they're all 2.5 yards short. Like they can't all be that dumb, right?
I agree.
Like some of these, like the flood concepts, like where you run somebody specifically short to try to get somebody to bring in the corner they're playing underneath so you can get over top to get a longer play. But like, you've got to reach the sticks. Like, you guys are absolutely correct. You've got to reach the sticks. But like, there's some concepts where you're trying to draw somebody closer so you can get over top of them. But it's been bad. I don't know. Was Matt Wells ever a good coordinator? Was he ever a good offensive guy? I thought, I told these guys, I thought we were turning into Texas Tech, and I'm seeing so much Texas Tech. It's stupid. Like a bad Texas Tech, not good Texas Tech, bad Texas Tech, like 6-6 Texas Tech. I'm seeing a lot of that, and it's not making me warm and fuzzy.
It just goes to show that anyone can create their own spin and narrative on anything. Like with the Texas Tech stuff, everybody was talking, well, maybe Matt Wells will bring him back to, he made Henry Colombi look like a serviceable quarterback at Texas Tech, and all of those narratives. It
was like, look what he inherited, and then COVID, and then they fired him with a winning record. Dude, I was all in on that. Like, I was like, man, they did this Matt Wells guy a little dirty, all because he couldn't name a Lubbock restaurant that he liked. That's the reason they fired him. Like, that's why they fired him. Like, but no, it's bad. Him and his bum ass brother need to hit the trails. Go back to Oklahoma.
Talk about
high school Oklahoma.
Yeah. Talk about a fall off. That tight ends room has been tough. That's been a tough scene. Okay, 3 more awards, then we'll get out of here. The Plot Twist Award. So what is the biggest storyline shift from preseason expectations? This could be a player, this can be a position group, this can be a coaching staff member, you name it.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. Scott, you were at the pep rally in Ireland.
No, I was at a distillery.
No, you were at a distillery. Okay.
Yeah.
Avery Johnson talking about the high-powered nature this offense was going to have. He specifically was like all up about like we got all this talent. We're going to be throwing the ball around. We're going to be doing this and that. I was like, I'm in. I mean, you could read all the stuff on, on all the sites and you listen to people, whatnot, but you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. Like, what the fudge? No, we can swear on this, right?
Yeah.
I
What the
I already said it. Like I already broke my own rule, and this is your guys' show. You go for it.
I bought in so much to what he said at that pep rally, which is insane. Because
those plays have worked. Those plays have worked.
Yeah,
There's been some drops, but it's been open.
Yeah, I know. I just 17 points this past week. I mean, the Army game again, like it's a tough one. It sucks because you never know in the third, in the second half how much your offense is going to get. But like, I don't know. I just expected so much more from this offense, as much as from a high-powered nature of it, just like being efficient. I mean, I was just expecting more efficiency coming from that. You make some big plays and you get some big passes, like that's great. But I also take like a high-powered nature as being offense that can consistently be on the field, like making good plays, and we're just not seeing that. So for me, that was a little bit of like I bought in way too much into like what he said there, of an offense that is going to be consistently able to move the ball. So that'd be mine.
Mine are 4 special teams turnovers in 4 games, 4 different players. 4 different situations. Well, actually 2 are muffs. But yeah, I mean, it's 4 players, 4 games, 1 a game, someone new every game. It's disgusting.
It is tough. I mean, I'm gonna say the Donovan McIntosh hype. I mean, honestly, for me, I wanted to believe so bad that we've got the next 6'3", 190-pound, long giraffe neck, 23-mile-per-hour running freak out at corner, and he is getting, barbecue chicken by a walk-on white boy at fucking Iowa State. He's killing them, and I had to just eat the crow right there. And then he disappears because we can't put him out there. He's getting killed. I don't know. The Donovan one killed me. I gave him Donovan Mitchell in the offseason too. I tried to give him the Spider moniker. There was a whole lot that went into that one. So that plot twisted on me quick that they gave up on him so fast. And I have too. So there we go.
Scott, you've mentioned this on Bosco's Boys quite a bit, but for me, it's kind of the shifts on the coaching staff and buying into the hype about Brian LePack being this golden boy prodigy coming in and he's going to be moving over from tight ends into the O-line. He's going to be replacing Connor Riley, who is, I'm going to say at K-State, as far as O-line coaches, generational. He's a fantastic O-line coach.
Shout out to Dickey, though. Shout out to Dickey.
He
was a dog.
But, Connor Riley was fantastic. But the shifts in the coaching staff coming out of last season, there were a lot of narratives about Connor Riley as an offensive coordinator. And, we're going to be able to open up the playbook more with Matt Wells. And what's he going to do? He's going to run 4 verts. Has he run 4 verts yet? Outside of maybe a Hail Mary situation. So it's been the narratives around the coaching staff and how a lot of these guys coming out of last season were still fairly highly touted, with the exception of Luke Wells. I think we all were of the perspective of that felt like a Nepo hire in a way, and he hadn't really proven it at the highest level as a tight ends coach. So it's been the coaching staff and just the expectations that were placed on a lot of these guys and just completely falling flat on their asses through the first 4 games that's been brutal to watch. Okay. Last one before we get into my favorite question, which was Matt's idea when we were planning this out. But the Looking Ahead Award, who do you think is the player, coaching staff person, situation that's most likely to define the rest of the season?
If it's good, it's going to be Avery Johnson. If it's bad, it's going to be the coaching staff and Chris Kleiman as a whole. Avery Johnson's the only singular person, coaches included, that can turn the season around. And if things do not turn around, then it's going to damage Chris Kleiman's legacy. That's what we're talking about, folks. Like, there's nothing he can do that will make it so he's not the second best coach in K-State football history. But he doesn't have the 30 years to like stand on like Bill Snyder did, and even Bill Snyder, like, as bad as it was on the way out, no one thinks anything bad about him at all, right? I have to remind people he got like straight up fired. Like, people have completely forgotten all that stuff, which is fine. They should. He has a statue, stadium, all that stuff. I thought Chris Kleiman was going to get a statue. I thought Chris Kleiman was going to get multiple Big 12 championships. That's all dead. It's all a matter is, can he prevent legacy decay to a point where he's just thought of as a better Ron Prince, right? Like, that's what we're talking about. Long-term legacy for a man who brought us a Big 12 championship. Because if it goes 2-10 on the way out, that's what it is. It is legacy talking. It starts with Chris Kleiman. So if it's good, it's going to be Avery Johnson dragging us to a bowl game. If it's bad, it's Chris Kleiman being talked about very poorly.
How do you follow that up, Matt?
Yeah. No, I mean
that's.
I think those are the A+ like answers here. I mean, if it's positive, it's going to be all on Avery Johnson. To basically you have to be a stud for the next 8 games. I mean, you have to be doing everything that you need to. And it's going to start like this UCF game that comes up in 2 weeks. Like, I've seen UCF. I can't say if they're good or bad yet, but you have a team that was not necessarily going to be thought of very highly in the Big 12 this season. That's going to come to Manhattan. And I'm going to say, like, UCF probably smells a little blood in the water. Like, K-State is hemorrhaging blood.
It also depends on what happens against North Carolina, because they could come in and who knows if Bell flips it on and beats them too. They'll be sniffing blood at that point also.
But this is like your first non-gimmicky game, so to speak. Like, if you think about it, like,
yeah, I mean,
it's your first non-gimmicky game, and it's a Big 12 game that you have to believe that you can beat at home. And if you don't do that, then the negatives are all there of Chris Kleiman and this coaching staff cannot save this team. That's going to be the narrative. They can't save this team. They don't know how to get this team turned up for a football game. And if you can't beat UCF at home, everything is done. So I 100% agree with what Scott says. It's on Avery Johnson. If this team can, win six out of the last 8 games, 7-5 is a tough way to look at from preseason expectations.
But then you bang that bowl game up.
You get to 8-5
in it, baby.
You get to 8-5.
Well, and here's the thing: if you go 6-2 on the run in, you just miss out on Arlington probably by 1 game.
Yeah,
that's what's going to be freaking.
Yeah, I mean,
you could be talking Arlington depending on where the losses come. You could be talking Arlington all the way into November.
Yeah,
that would be nuts.
I like Matt said. I mean, Scott and Matt had perfect answers there. That's exactly how I'm gonna say something. I mean, I don't know how to really do this answer other than what they just did, but I'm gonna say, really, after this bye, who's on the team? Because, people are going to start, thinking about transfer portal, redshirting, doing all that stuff. And then you've got guys like George Fitzpatrick. Does he even give it a go? If we're at a bad place, does he give it a go? Because he has 1 more year of eligibility after this. Does he give it a go to try to put anything into this season going into technically his senior season of eligibility? I'm looking at guys like that. I'm looking at our star players like Jace. Are they locked in to this season after this bye and after the UCF game to say, hey, I'm going to give it a go with K-State for this season and maybe next if there's some life to it. So I'm looking at George. I'm looking at Jace. I'm looking at Avery. I'm looking at, all the big hitters. But I'm looking at who's going to give it a run towards the later half of the season if we've got any life.
I'm right there. Yeah, I don't have any answer that's going to be different from what's already been shared. I'm in agreement with everyone here. My last question, and this was just a great call out by Matt. We've got Scott's Tots. Which commits or targets are you most excited about for 2026? Or conversely, which younger player are you putting the most expectation on, and they're just going to no, hold on. Let me rephrase this. Who are you going to pay the most money in NIL that's not going to deliver on the promises? In the true spirit of Scott's Tots. You're paying this guy full right.
I mean, that changes it. I mean, because the way it was presented to me was like, oh, hey, like who are you most excited for? I mean, this is what the answer in that new way. This is the answer. What's going to happen if you want to talk about investing too much NIL and then they bust? What's going to happen is Kingston Hall's going to show up. He's going to get time as a true freshman as an inside defensive tackle. He's going to look good in like 4 or 5 games. All of a sudden, he's going to be like, all right, F this. OU wants me. F this. You know, I'm going to go down to Texas Tech. And you're like, no, here's $1.3 million. Be a dominant defensive tackle for us. And then he, gets on a bad eating plan at the, food hall. And then, he's going to have to transfer down to Tulsa. And then he's going to, find some way to end up on Oklahoma State as a redshirt senior. And he's still not going to do anything. So in your way of it, that's the scenario. Yeah. I hate it. I liked my original thinking. Ooh, who am I most excited for? But if you want to talk about end up paying too much NIL and it all goes tits up, that's what it is. It's Kingston Hall.
I wanted to hear the first one, and then
who are you actually excited?
It's Morales, right? Like he's a psycho. If you watch his huddle film, like this is a guy who it's like, all right, hey man, just like don't get arrested before you come to K-State. He is a psycho offensive lineman, and I think that's what that room needs. They need someone who's going to show up. They're going to headbutt, a bumper plate when someone's trying to do a hang clean, and then try to do an Oklahoma drill with, the strength and conditioning guy, and he's going to try to fist fight, half the basketball team. That's the type of guy Justin Morales is. He is a psycho, and we need that in our offensive line room.
I love it. That's
good. I've seen some of his film too, and he looks, I'm excited to get him in the weight room. I mean, he's 6'4" right now, obviously, and, just building some muscle. He does look like he could be a freak on the offensive line. I really like Tucker Ashford. I've seen a lot of good stuff from him. He's a Fort Worth kid. So coming up from Texas, obviously he's our highest ranked recruit right now. You hope he's a guy that we can continue to keep in the fold as we move through and get towards signing day. Another target for 2026, Colin Klein. I mean, obviously, guy, he's shown a lot as a young offensive coordinator. I have to imagine, he's a potential target for 2026, depending on the last answer that we talked about. So we'll see about that.
And to be honest, and piggybacking off of that, a guy that we might have to end up paying a bunch of NIL for just to keep around, just because that's what you do with serviceable backups, is Miles Toadeki. I mean, he's going to end up having to win us 4 games like in the later half of the season after somebody gets, a really bad injury or something like that. And we're like, well, he's the only really quarterback on the roster. Pay him $1.1 million to stay. And, God, for God's sakes, he's going to hemorrhage us in that quarterback room for maybe 2.5 years.
What happened to Blake Barnett? Did he get concussed in CTE, like early onset or something?
You can never know.
You can transfer to Colorado State. I remember on the side, like when we did the recruiting episode, we talked about him. And look, I'm on the train. Yeah, do I think he's ever going to play here? I don't know. I honestly don't know if Miles is ever going to play here.
I mean, you've never seen a submarine style throwing quarterback before. I've never seen one, but he does it. So
submarine style as a lefty.
I mean,
the guy's missing his calling. He's like a $17 million pitcher, man.
He really
Get that guy
is.
Up on the bump. Don't be taking shotgun snaps.
No. I was high on him for some reason. I don't know. I saw some of his film and you're like, okay, as a junior, like, if you're a kid that can lead your team to a state championship as a junior, like especially in a pretty competitive league in Texas, like you have to give a little bit of stock to that. He may never ever play a snap for us. He could be playing at UTSA in 2 years. Who knows? But that's very funny you brought him up.
Fucking Dan Quisenberry at quarterback for the Kansas State Wildcats.
God.
On that note, Scott, thank you a ton for coming on. Obviously, like this has been a blast. It's been awesome having you on. We will have you back on in the future. I will not forget to invite you back on ever again. Go ahead and take a couple minutes to plug Boscoe's Boys, plug whatever you got going on, and we'll get out of here.
I'll try to do it real quick. At Boscoe's Boys, wasn't going to go 5 episodes a week this week. There were some for the first time in a while, got some really mean comments when I said that because I was melting down, got some mean comments, but then had a lot more nice comments saying, hey, however many episodes you put out, I'm going to listen. So we are going 5 this week and then into the next round of games. Now, if it hits the fan, no, like I'm not going to be able to do this for 2 more bye weeks and all this stuff. No, I'm not going to be able to do it. But it's been a blast. Some of my most fun memories are with you 3 in those live shows. I'll never forgive Spotify for buying a platform and then killing it off. Absolutely hate it. And I just want to – everyone knows my show. Over 1,000 episodes. But what you guys are doing week in, week out, it is pure entertainment. It is 3 friends just getting at it, talking about the Cats. So I want to applaud you guys because eventually you guys are going to hit your 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 year marks. Eventually you guys are going to get to 1,000 episodes. So I can't wait for you guys to continue to churn and hit these milestones. So I just want to congratulate you guys in building your own community of cokeheads. So I just want to congratulate you 3 and thank you for having me on.
Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you again for coming on, Scott. Once again, shout out to our sponsor, Anti-Maze Parlor. Visit them at www.antimaze.com for a full list of their upcoming events. If you're stopping by at any point, you can grab these koozies, Wildcat Country Let's Ride koozies. Just ask your bartender at the bar, say, hey, I want one of those koozies, and they will hook you up. And be sure to tell them Cocaine Willie sent you. We also have our merch store up at cocainewillie.com. You can buy that Wildcat Country Let's Ride merch. We are also the K-State representative on the College Huddle, which is the largest community of fan-driven content in the nation. Check them out at thecollegehuddle.com and follow them on social media at College Huddle. And last but not least, you can follow our show at Cocaine Willie on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, or follow us individually. I'm at Bob Trollsby. Chef is at Chef
Blue Sky.
And Fireball Matt is at Matt Marchesini. Chef.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, baby.
We are all coke and no joke. Wildcat Country.
Let's ride. Fuck Chef.